Survivors of a hurricane face shark-infested waters in Thrash. My review, right now. Welcome to Resta Reviews, my name is Daniel, and today I will be reviewing the natural horror movie Thrash. It's written and directed by Tommy Wirkola, and it stars Phoebe Dynevor, Djimon Hounsou, Whitney Peak, Alyla Browne, and Stacy Clausen. Tommy Wirkola specializes in making horror and thriller films with dark comedic touches. He's made a few films that I've enjoyed quite a bit, including Dead Snow, The Trip, and Violent Night. The idea of Wirkola making a movie about people fighting off sharks during a hurricane certainly had me curious. Unfortunately, Thrash is one of the weaker films in his filmography. Thrash takes place in a town called Annieville on the east coast of the United States. A Category 5 hurricane called Henry hits the town and leaves some of the citizens stranded in flooded areas. A large amount of blood soon gets in the water and attracts sharks to the area. The characters must team up to survive so that they don't become chum. Among the group of survivors is Dakota, played by Whitney Peak. She's a character who recently lost her mother. Then there's also Lisa, played by Phoebe Dynevor. She's an expecting mother who's about to give birth. These two characters team up in one house while a group of children who have the worst foster parents ever have to band together in another house. Elsewhere, Djimon Hounsou plays Dakota's uncle Dale. He's a marine researcher who's trying to get to Annieville to rescue Dakota and the others. While Thrash certainly isn't as bad as many of the low-budget shark films that plague streaming services, it is a disappointing one from Wirkola. At just 86 minutes, it tries to cram in multiple scattered characters and plot lines, and it ends up feeling disjointed as a result. The entire plot with the foster kids is separate from Dakota and Lisa for the duration of the film. The kid characters should have either been put under the same roof at a certain point or been dropped altogether. Thrash is tonally inconsistent as well. It often takes itself serious with intense shark attack scenes full of blood and terror, but then there's also other scenes that are more tongue-in-cheek, like a reference to Evil Dead 2, I believe, and a part that has a Vanessa Carlton needle drop. Wirkola's script is full of clunky dialogue and characters who just talk about what we as the audience are already seeing them do. This is especially true of the first act, which is quite rough in setting things up as the actors seem like they're just now learning their lines on the spot. There are a handful of comedic lines as well, and they're all duds too. Some of them feel quite forced, including one involving the grabbing of a spear. Poor Djimon Hounsou is stuck with that one. Hounsou is a great actor, and he does what he can with the weak material here. Phoebe Dynevor also deserves much better. She proved to be a phenomenal new talent in the film Fair Play, so I hope that this film doesn't derail other opportunities for her. The sharks themselves in Thrash look pretty good outside of a few of the shots here and there. The attack scenes with them are well staged, with people being pulled rapidly while trying to fight them off. Wirkola certainly doesn't hold back with all of the blood and limbs with these scenes. Production designer David Ingram and his team are the real MVPs for Thrash. They make the flooded and destroyed houses and streets look believable throughout. The set decoration is mostly spot on when it comes to capturing the East Coast. While the sharks and production design look fine, Thrash does have some poor visuals at times. These include an awful CGI baby and some shots on boats where actors are clearly sitting in front of green screens. Such moments with the visuals really took me out of the immersion. While watching Thrash, I kept thinking of the other, better film called Crawl. That takes place during a hurricane as well, but it focuses on alligators instead of sharks. I say check out Crawl if you haven't already, as it's a fun little genre film. I wish I could say the same about Thrash. Before I give you my final thoughts and rating, please hit that like button if you've enjoyed this review and consider subscribing and enabling notifications if you haven't already. You can also find and follow me on the social media platforms Letterboxd, Blue Sky, Backlogged, and Award Expert. Thrash has a decent cast and a few thrilling sections, but it's mostly a lackluster effort from Tommy Wirkola. The script is messy, the dialogue is weak, and the effects are hit and miss. It's not a bottom-of-the-barrel shark film, but it also isn't memorable either. I'm giving Thrash a 5.25 out of 10. I think it's mediocre, and unfortunately my recommendation is to skip it. That's just my opinion though. If you are curious about it, it is streaming on Netflix. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite shark movie is. I mean, it's Jaws, right? Nothing beats Jaws. At least that's definitely my favorite one. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can check out these other videos on Rester Reviews right now.